The Boltzmann wall and the end of an era. For over half a century, humanity has lived under a silent promise, Moore's law. Gordon Moore, co-founder of Intel, predicted that the number of transistors on a chip would double every 2 years. And for decades, we delivered. We went from room-sized calculators to supercomputers in our pockets. But today, that promise has been broken. Welcome to Silicon Secrets. Today we aren't talking about a new iPhone or a faster graphics card. Today we are talking about the collapse of silicon. Why is silicon dying? The answer lies in fundamental physics. We have shrunk transistors so much, reaching the 2 nanometer scale, that electrons no longer behave like stable particles. They begin to experience quantum tunneling. Electrons simply pass through the walls of the channels like ghosts walking through walls. This generates heat, inefficiency, and calculation errors. We have hit the Boltzmann wall. Silicon is a rock we learned to make think, but that rock has reached its atomic limit. If we do not find a successor, artificial intelligence will stall, computing will stagnate, and our technological civilization will enter a digital dark age. The rise of graphene and 2D materials. If silicon has fallen, who will inherit the throne? The first candidate is the wonder material, graphene. A single layer of carbon atoms arranged in a hexagonal pattern. It is the thinnest, strongest, and most conductive material ever discovered. Unlike silicon, graphene allows electrons to travel at speeds close to light without generating resistance. In 2026, laboratories in Shenzhen and California have achieved what seemed impossible, creating the first functional graphene chip with a band gap. Why is this important? Without a band gap, a chip cannot turn off, it is always on. But with this new engineering, we are seeing processors operating at 100 GHz, while your current computer barely reaches 5. Imagine a computer that needs no fans, consumes 90% less energy, and is physically flexible. But graphene isn't alone. Materials like molybdenum disulfide are allowing the creation of transistors just 1 atom thick. We are moving from 3D construction to 2D engineering. Silicon was the brick, graphene is the digital silk. Photonics and biological computing, wetware. But what if the problem isn't the material, but the medium? Electrons are slow and generate heat. Photons, particles of light, do not. Photonic computing is the next great secret of Silicon Valley. Instead of copper wires, we use silicon waveguides. Yes, silicon survives here as a conductor of light. Photonic chips process data at the speed of light, allowing artificial intelligence to be trained in milliseconds instead of months. Companies like Lightmatter are already shipping prototypes that outperform any NVIDIA GPU by a factor of 10. However, the deepest and most disturbing secret is wetware. Biological computing. In biotech labs, engineers are growing human neurons on silicon wafers. Why? Because the human brain is the most efficient processor in the known universe. It consumes only 20 watts, less than a light bulb, yet can perform pattern recognition tasks that cost an AI megawatts of energy. We are witnessing the birth of computational organoids. Processors that are alive, that require nutrients, and that learn organically. The future of hardware isn't just metal and light, it's flesh and code. The geopolitics of post-silicon and the final destiny. This shift isn't just technical, it's a war. Whoever controls the post-silicon era will control the 21st century. It's no longer about who has the most factories, but who controls the graphene patents and the photonics labs. We are moving from an economy based on oil and silicon to one based on carbon and light. Q-Day, or quantum supremacy, is just around the corner, and with it, the end of all digital security as we know it. Silicon Secrets warns you, the world you knew, where hardware was something static and predictable, is over. We are entering an era where technology is liquid, organic, and ultra-fast. The death of silicon is not the end of computing, it is the birth of a new species of intelligence. Thank you for joining us on this 60-minute journey into the heart of the machine. If you want to survive what's coming, you must understand the secrets that silicon can no longer keep. Subscribe to Silicon Secrets. The future is already here, and it is post-silicon.